One, two, three. Hi, hello, my name is Julia, and I could be your erotic photographer. And this video is about this case I had recently. And this is particular about men, okay? Broken body image for men, okay? So, how to say, I went through many photo shoots, and there are people who are observing some things about themselves which is not visually to me, okay, obvious there, right? So people seeing different images in a different way, okay, they see themselves in a different way, they see themselves differently than others see you, okay. And very recently I shot one guy, okay, and I'll just tell you the whole situation about this case. So more than a year ago, there was a sex coach who contacted me saying that she had this special client who has problems with his sexuality, problems with his performance, with his body, with his acceptance, many things, okay. And she said that she went through the course with him, and he had a therapy, and she would like to have a final conclusion day in the studio, just record for him how brave and sexually how to say strong he became. And I said, yeah, great idea. And I gave her my studio for 1 hour, okay. I haven't seen this guy, but he's been in my studio. I showed her a few ways how to shoot in the studio, how to direct the light. And I left. I haven't seen this client. And so I have this client who wanted to book a photo shoot with me. And he wanted a personal consultation. And he arrived to the studio to discuss the photo shoot. Was a gorgeous guy, okay. He was young, the body is perfect, the face is perfect, you know, this Instagram boys, something like that, okay. And when I'm saying boys, I mean they're already men, but they still trying to hold on to this how to say objective, you know, and dress really young style and so on and so on, which is fine, you know. The older I get, the same vibe I can translate as well, because I also want to how to say wear something young style and so on. Nothing is wrong about that. Okay, so he came to my studio. We discussed the photo shoot. He said he wants just few pictures of him, but they should be really perfect. Okay, and by that I did not realize what that means, perfect. There is an editing process and there is a photo shoot process, and you create a lot of images, okay, sexual images, when you're undressing, when you're naked, when you're touching yourself, when you have an erection, and so on and so on. And there is a lot of images, and usually people decide for themselves which ones are successful for them, okay, because my choice and my understanding of the photography absolutely different to the other person, okay. And the person also connects with the images through the emotions, through the feelings. They have this kind of a specific thing why they like this image, okay. Very often I do I very often before I did very often a research on the images that I would indicate as the best ones, and then the people will show their choices, okay. And I just understand that this is a bizarre situation, okay. People coming from different backgrounds, from the different how to say upbringing in general, they like different things, and what I consider really high class and powerful image, they would not even select this. Oh my god, I have a doorbell. Okay, let's ignore this. I hope it's nothing serious here, just the postman. Okay, so what happened with this guy? We agreed on the photo shoot. He paid the deposit and he came back on that day. But when I had this consultation with him, okay, I've sensed a lot of things about that person, okay, and I actually thought about that moment when this sex coach was with her client. And I just thought it might be this guy. I just had this suspicion, you know, just had this idea, suspicion. Why I would think so, I don't know. But when he came back to the studio, this was the first thing what I asked for. Seriously, do I need to open this? Okay, I hope not. So, and I asked him, have you been here in my studio before? And he was laughing and saying like, why are you asking? I said, I want to know. And he says, yes. And then he told me about this sex coach, and they had like a really long therapy, like a really long therapy. I don't know, he was in 1 year in the therapy. To be fair, speaking about coaches and speaking about services, the sex coach was 26 years old. Okay, she was sophisticated young lady. Okay, thinking that she have an experience to how to say consult and create therapies for men. And she, how to say, I can consult in my photography because I have an experience. Okay, I have many experiences, and that's when I'm going into consulting, not because I've graduated or I got some kind of a course and I become a professional. No. So that's what I said. And I said, okay, so you already had the therapy with her. Let's see what the results are, where did she, to what point she bring you to, like I wanted to see. And you see, undress in front of the woman with the confidence and be confident in front of a stranger being naked is one point, is one level. Okay, achievement is one level, because there are a lot of men who would energetically do not feel well in this situation when they're undressing in front of the woman. And I asked him, can you do a few test shots like undress in front of me? And I just put the camera on, and he did few takes, and he did really sensually and sexually and slowly, and I could see that he is fine being in front of me naked. So I thought there will be no problem there. Okay, so undressing was fine. But all that time when I had a photo shoot with him, okay, and something probably, the mood and energy is contagious. Okay, so if someone is really feel anxiety and freaking out and having this paranoia and that kind of a thing, it can actually come on you, that feeling, that sensation, the same like a happiness. If you meet a friend who is happy and so on, he can he can actually transform that energy into you, right? And you will be also cheerful and happy and so on. So with this guy, I can tell you that 2 hours I was in this like a negative emotion and feeling, and we were shooting different stages. So I explained to him that he would go through the basic process because he never had a professional shoot and the shoot like this before. When we photographing the nude body, we are not making just beautiful stage pictures where how to say, other photographers, right, they will set everything up, lights and posing, and they will shoot you. But I encourage people to understand their body, to try to move, to match the energy with the, how to say, with the silhouette, with the face. Just have it naturally. Okay, done. Not set it up and you all pretty and then take a shot, but in the movement, in the action, in like when you're doing something, you need to understand how you look. Okay, why you look this way, why you feel this way when you're doing something, right? We are going deeper and analyzing this. And so the photo shoot progressed in the normal way. I presented maybe, I don't know, 50 lighting variations for him. I just said, there will be successful shots and successful light options for you, but you also need to see what is not working for you and what you count as an unsuccessful. And so we started slowly, and then we get better and better images. And I think at the end I shot something like 450 or 60 shots, okay, of him. And we tried many setups, many scenarios, backgrounds, posing, a lot of movement options, a lot of lighting, like I say, options. So I did a fucking huge range for him, okay, so that he could see and that he could enjoy, not 5, 10 pictures all the same, and all this. No, during the photo shoot we dance, okay, we communicate, we move, I move, he move, I explain him how he should impact me and how we should make it together, not just him standing by himself, but photography depends on my energy and my connection to the client as well. Okay, if we're making this real, right? So we photographed his body, we photographed his being naked. Okay, then he wanted an extra services and so on. And I said to him that he will come the next time, in terms of come shots. and things, because there was 2 hours already run out and I had no time. I was tired and it was very hot, in the studio. And so, because he was paranoid, okay, we reviewed images on his computer. Okay, and this is the first time when I'm experiencing this with a client, because usually I don't do this in the studio. We don't open your images straight away. We do not look at the images. Usually I process the files, because we open the raw images, right? So I will process the files, I will do the basic setting editings. The reason why it's necessary, because I do not shoot in one light option, and there is always an error when you're changing a lot of lighting options and you give a lot of variations. So you need to, how to say, adjust this in editing process. So I've explained them that this is raw files, okay, that they're, how to say, big, large files, and you can do anything with them later in the editing process. He understands all of that. And then we're opening this file. And it's not that I could open and see the whole file. He was just picking the images and commenting on the images, and I was just sitting next to him. Okay, I was just sitting next to him, and I was listening to this paranoia. Okay, the thing is that I always thought that the men are much stronger about their appearance and about their acceptance, and in general, they see themselves slightly in a different way. For example, if I shoot the girl and we look at the pictures and the picture is amazing, but she sees the small wrinkle somewhere, she's freaking out straight away. And it's not that me put that wrinkle in there. The camera, when you're shooting in certain settings, camera can take everything, all the information what is visible in the image. And depending on what kind of the editing you will produce later, you adjusting certain lightings. Okay, so when we shoot a body, I would like to see the skin texture with everything, and most of the time I'm using flash, okay, to reveal all the imperfections. And that mostly shocks people. And I'm sorry, I'm so hot. I just can see that I'm all sweating. I have this powder. I'm so sorry, but I just needed this break. I can see I'm already. It's very hot here in the studio. So that what's happening with this guy. Okay, he started looking at his pictures and he was saying the most horrible things about himself. Okay, so I just made a photography with the young guy who had zero fat, who had a great body, who's been groomed. Here it was okay, everything was okay. I can't take the bad pictures of him. You understand? I can't. He looked perfect, okay, already. And so we're viewing those images and they are hot and sexy and they're very nice to me, okay, to me. But what he is seeing is saying, I am embarrassed. He's so horrible. I look so this, I look so bad. I'm sitting and listening to this and I'm thinking, can this be true? He was analyzing this images. So okay, so this image, okay, so in this image I like my face, I hate everything else. In this image I like my cock, I hate everything else. In this image I like body and I hate everything. And so he was so much putting himself down, okay, that I seriously was in shock. Okay, how much people can see it in a different and in a broken format. Okay, if I would show you those images, you would probably dream about them. Okay, but for him, it was the worst of the worst. I'm like, are you serious here? Show me what you don't like. Why you don't like that? And so on. So his ideal picture image was when everything goes, like, and direction is perfect size, and the body is in a perfect movement, in a perfect lighting, and the head is in a perfect, position, and his face is perfect, and everything. Can you imagine how much he was freaking out about this? Okay, and everything has to be perfect. And he is perfect already. He doesn't need any improvement and any perfections. Yes, in terms of the comment, okay, if you like that face more, then I understand. And then we were sitting And I was just saying, okay, we need to reshoot this. If you there is no even one image that you do not like about yourself. He says, this is not your photography. This is me. I hate myself. I look older. I look disgusting. I look this. I was like, perfectly fine images. And he is just slagging off, looking at himself and not seeing any of that, what I do see here. Okay. And can you imagine, your brain can transform this illusion that your eyes, it just, how to say, I don't know how this happens in the brain, but it's very often happens. And I can associate the situation like this. For example, you go to the hairdresser and he will make you a new hairstyle. Okay, and because it's new, you come out and you think, oh, this is I don't like myself, this and this. It happened to me many times with the hairdressers, and after a few days, I get used to it and I love it. Okay, and I love it. And so I know that there is this factor in every person that maybe something new or different. And then I was just explaining to him how he from the childhood looks at himself, that he grows up with the certain fixed image. When you look at the mirror and you make yourself pretty to yourself into certain pose, position, smile, face, so you improve that reflection to your perfection, so that every time you meet yourself, you meet that best part. Okay, you don't come to the image, to the mirror, and trying, like to squeeze the double chin on. You never will do that. Of course, you will make yourself, how to say, to the best presentable version as possible, right? So we booked another shoot with him where we will stay and shoot. And I was just explaining to him, I said, now when you look at the images and you spend 2 hours of making them, you can say that this one you like, this one you don't like, this one you would use to that picture. So you have the whole information and the whole experience. And I'm asking you, would you be able to make those 2 pictures or 3 pictures you want shots straight away without the whole thing what just happened? And he's just sitting and smiling and understanding that he would not be able, you know? I said, if I would just put you there, okay, and how to say, and we will make those pictures, would you know how you look perfect, what you like? Because now what you see here, you can recognize this I like, this I don't like, this I would like to add to my picture. So what we decided was that he will use a mirror. Okay, and I have a mirror in the studio, and I ask him, does he want to do that? It's actually makes photo shoot easier for many clients, especially women. Okay, women want to see themselves, women want to place themselves. What happens during the photo shoot? I will just put the mirror in front of them, right, and then set up the lighting and so they will put themselves into kind of a sexy situation they like. Okay, and then I shoot. And this happens to the woman. Okay, I don't do this with men. Okay, but with this one, that was the case, one thing. And even then, okay, there are so high expectations from yourself. Okay, and I was just saying, you chill, you look great, why are you so negative to yourself? Why you hate yourself? What happened to you? What kind of the parents you had? Maybe you had a very strict father who constantly was looking and commenting you. It's just like, how does it's crazy. It's crazy, but people have this ex- acceptance of themselves on the lowest. Okay, like on I don't know, on I don't know the lowest point, but they do have that. Okay, and so even the most beautiful people who have the beautiful pictures can feel ugly and can see themselves and see the ugliest thing that they cannot even look at. Okay, and so he was sitting and commenting every picture after, one after the other. And at what moment I've realized, okay, that this is the huge suffering of the humanity. Okay, when your brain produces for you from the positive, okay, from the beautiful visual presentation, the most ugliest and the most baddest and worst, creation that is possible. He just see himself in the darkest colors, okay? And I realized that this is not me who can help him, okay? And he didn't go anywhere far with this lady sex therapist, okay? Anywhere far, because when you do a sex therapy, you will start from the loving yourself, right? And loving your body, okay, and accepting yourself, right, and loving how you are. Everything what you do doesn't matter if you even bend, even if you sit. Okay, I stand, I do not have a tummy and nothing, but when I sit, I do have that wrinkle. I do have it here, not wrinkle, the the circle around me, right? And I do not punish myself for this. I love it, okay? Because I'm real and I have to have some kind of imperfection. Actually, people do not like perfect people. People like imperfections in those people. That's how you match, okay? So imagine, the God made you already perfect, and some just don't see this. It's just not given to them, and the photography is that tool that it can show them. What I said to him, this is the best analysis that you can get. You look at all the images, from the good ones to the bad ones. Stay on the bad ones and think about those feelings. Why are you so disgusted of this image? Why you think this image is the worst? Why, what is horrible in it? Okay, because in terms of photography, he had no objections. The lighting is good, the quality, the focus, everything is good. Okay, but he just hated himself in general. Okay, and nothing I could do about it. Just nothing I could do about it. Okay, so I promised to have another shoot. Okay, and he agreed that he would not go to that goal from the point zero. Okay, he needed that journey to experience, to analyze, to understand, to try, to test it, and now he knows what he wants. Okay, and so we said that we will shoot those pictures what he wants, and we will use the screen, the computer, that I will plug my camera into computer, and he will just stop me where he likes the lighting. Okay, so that's perfect. He likes the background, that's perfect. Then he will be looking at himself into the screen and making that body perfect that he wants. That face would he imagine, that shape, the posture, and of course, to all the matching his cock size. Okay, so that everything will be there in that picture. And I said to him, do you realize that even this to make will take maybe 1 or 2 hours to make that picture perfect? You know? This is an obsession, I say, and it's not worth it. And I had different kind of obsessions of being perfectionist. Okay, the last obsession, which I can say cost me maybe five. Someone is calling me. Okay, so the last obsession cost me 5 years of my time, because I was obsessed in Photoshop, perfecting other people's bodies and making these illusions and making them believe that they look so great. Okay, but that is not true. So imagine how you go through life creating the illusion, but in real life you hate yourself. Okay, so he wanted these pictures to be perfect, to send someone how amazing he is, but in the real life, when you are with him, he is nothing like that. Okay, he is not confident about himself. He is not confident as a man. He can't lead you as a sexual alpha being. He can't do, like a scared child who was running here in my studio, okay, with anxiety and paranoia and how to say, and hate to himself. Can you imagine shooting such people? Okay, and I always feel upset, little bit or guilty that I couldn't make it, and I couldn't fix this, and I couldn't, how to say, create that image. But when you have such a deep, okay, no, seriously deep, mm, d- image distortion of yourself. You can't just have it through one photo shoot. And if you create those images, you would need to work with everything what you make and try to figure it out. Just put that information in your head so that it reach that file when you start hating yourself, when you start feeling these feelings and anxiety. None of the therapists will help you. Okay? People need to do therapy for themselves. Okay? And I believe in this thing. Okay? That yes, when you are really weak, you need an advice and you need encouragement and you need a push from someone, okay, to go into that state. But people are curing themselves from all the condition and all the diseases that they have. Only their body and their mind processing this information inside them. And that's how they can get better. Okay. So when you have a mental condition, which is not visible physically, right? But when you stay a longer time with the person, you clearly see that this is not even bothering, it's actually disturbing his life. Okay, he doesn't see any other values, he doesn't want to do anything else, try to do anything else. It's just like very limited and trapped life in the negativity. Okay, and when you observe the person, the young man who is absolute nothing wrong with him, do you think, he's asking me, do you think my cock is too small? Okay. Well, I said, first of all, okay, you are a medium-sized guy. Okay. You're a medium-sized guy. Okay. And your cock is a medium size. Okay. And to me, everything is proportional and normal. Okay. But very often these medium sizes dream about extra large, huge, or whatever, okay, which they can't get. No, seriously. So let's just live all this life in a disappointment that you don't have a huge cock. And I'm telling you, you know what? I said, you need to analyze a little bit about woman anatomy. Basically, all the stimulations and majority of the G spots are not that deep. Okay. You don't need a dildo like that to reach that. Okay. They're actually outside or very in the reachable positions, right? So that, and I was trying to explain him. And so all these kind of delusional ideas which came from, of course, from where did it came from where you grow up, from the internet, from so these are not true. Okay. And people are living in the lie. Okay, living in the lie. And I am making this video because I can tell you that not only women suffer this broken image condition, but I just had, and I've seen the severe case, and I know that he was in the therapy for a year or so trying to fix this. Okay. So nothing wrong is with the person, nothing wrong is with his physical health. Okay. But his mental health is just giving him a lot of troubles. Okay. Like seriously, a lot of troubles. And this is no one's fault. I mean, like, I'm talking about myself. Okay. This is not my fault that the person can't accept himself, can't see himself, cannot evaluate himself. They don't even, the way they cannot see it, okay, the way they cannot hear it, they can't understand. Okay, so that's why the photography is the only option. Visual information is the only option. Visually they can process this silently in their files in their head. The more they see those images, okay, the more memories and the more feelings will be absorbed into their brain, into their body, and it will, the process will start. The information needs to be, the files needs to be replaced, and he needs to see himself in a normal way, the way he is, and sexy and handsome and great body and successful. Okay. There is nothing good he said in nearly 3 hours when I was with him about himself. He didn't like the haircut. Okay, this is probably my hair, do you like my hair? I said, well, they're natural. It's okay. Yes, it's like my natural. If I would come from the hairdressers, of course, they would look totally different. Yes, and he said, and this time this grooming guy didn't do the great job. So yeah, the hair is not right. This is this next time I will get more tan, and this or not. And everything was not good for him, right? And that's how we stay in this unhappiness and in this negativity that is constantly something around us, how to say, not happening to our expectations. And then we start, how to say, thinking about ourselves and kind of everything is fine and everything is perfect. And you need to know this, that there are people who are seriously in trouble, suffering, okay? With a great looks and with the great bodies, okay? And his personality was fine, but he clearly had a mental condition, okay? And this is not photographer's job to fix his problems in his head, okay? But still, I am there because all the cases which I'm talking about, they are with the mental situations, okay? And I am happy to take them on and I'm happy to process. But over those more than 10 years of this situations, when you see the images later on of yourself, there are people who would say, I do not like the way I look. I do not like myself in the pictures. Usually I would not take the money for this photo shoot. Okay. But this time I did. I did. I took the full payment from him because I clearly knew that this is not my fucking fault. I was just jumping up and down for 2 hours, making him, how to say, a lot of variations and lighting options and everything, what I can do at that moment, with him. And I gave him a lot of choices, okay, and I gave him a big file, and I gave him all the raw images, right? And I worked my butt off. And it's not because I didn't do a great job. It's because for some people it's not enough. They can't see it, what you just done. They just don't. They see themselves and they don't see that image. And I don't know how to fix this link, but I know that people experience these problems clearly the same way as women. Men experience the same paranoia, the same, perfectionist, the same obsession, the same kind of a thing. Okay, so they don't see the general picture. Okay, what they look when they look at the image, they see something what they don't like straight away, and that's it. And that's something what they don't like about themselves just takes all of that picture. Okay, and yes, you could be beautiful and you could be sitting and so on, like I say, for example, sitting and you're all gorgeous and beautiful, but you will have this, love handle in the back or whatever, right? And all what she would see is that negative. She would not see the background, she would not see the light, she would not see her body, her skin, her face, her, how to say, this image. The pictures, if you make real pictures, they preserve the energy and they preserve the emotion. And it's not about you being perfect about this picture. And he's saying, oh, I wanted to send this picture to some kind of a girl he will meet, whatever, in a dating, and I can't send because I look horrible in all of them. Okay, I said, okay, can you show me which face you like? Okay. Then he starts looking, hardly find this face. Okay, this face is fine, but the body is terrible. Okay, I said, what's wrong with the body? Oh, I'm standing, something like that, and so on. And the way I see picture is this way: sexy or not sexy. And that is yes or no. Okay? And if you have there a wrinkle, but everything is drop dead gorgeous, sexy, right? In a photo shoot, you can fix this, right? If there is a problem for you. But even now, I do not suggest that. If you're not an adult model and you're not in, adult porn industry, people need to be natural. Look at me, I'm all sweating naturally. I am naturally sweating here. I put this powder to how to say, to stop the leakage, right? So that's what we will do. We will how to say, define those situations. We will define those cases. We will speak about them. People need to know how beautiful, okay, and gorgeous men, which you look around, okay, might feel about themselves, how they might feel. They might hate themselves, okay, and you think that and you think that everything is great with them, right? And mental, like I say, mental conditions are not visible, okay. They can be recognizable when you spend some time with the person, when you could see those patterns of the, the anxiety here, and patterns of this obsession or not normal behavior. Then you can indicate slowly and slowly that this is exactly the case. And so when I stayed and then I listened about that hurricane of negative emotion, how bad he feels about himself, about his photo shoot, about how he looks, I don't know, like a mountain came down of my shoulders, because I constantly in this situation was blaming me, that I didn't do the great job to convince him, to show him to something. Nothing I can do here, even if I will stand on my head, even if I would spend 3 or 5 more hours shooting, which I usually do. If people are not happy with them, I would continue shooting till they're happy. You would not. You would not please them. Okay. This image, okay, is filtrated and accepted in here. Okay. So if it's rejected in here, nothing I can change in the screen, no matter how much I jump, no matter what I do. Okay. The rejection starting here, nothing he likes. Okay. Nothing indicates, right? So what we need to do is probably to listen to those kind of situations and understand how life is, right? Life is about you, about your art, about you being already perfect. You don't need to fix yourself, okay, with photography or with the videos. You just need to document, okay, document and just accept that moment and the way you are right now. For example, after the summer, I rested a lot, I ate a lot, I put on weight. Okay, I put on weight. I don't look, the way I looked before, and I will go and do some exercises about it. But not in a single moment or a second I start hating myself about that, or blaming myself, or punishing myself, or torturing myself, or limiting myself, or how to say, or commenting myself in any way. I don't do that to myself. Why you doing this? Why you saying this? People, when they come to the photo shoot, the first 10 minutes usually they say what they hate about themselves and what they like. And yes, maybe your nose is not that great like the others. Maybe your boobs are not the same like theirs. Maybe you have, different ass, or maybe you're not that tall, okay? Do you need to punish yourself for who you are? Why would you live that life, and why would you take that path? So at the first time when they would come, okay, and I understand the situation when the woman would say, like, I had a breast removed, right? And she has problems, okay, about her body because it happened to her, right? That I understand. They lost the limb. It wasn't, how to say, something happened, and these type of conditions, cancer, whatever, right? Tumors, blah blah blah, right? They affect you, how you feel, they affect your body. But imagine when there is a totally healthy human being with a perfection, in my view, with a perfection in the looks, in the body, in everything, and feel himself the worst of the worst. Okay, so that's why I wanted to know, I wanted to know, And I know now that this is not my problem. This is not my photography. That there are people with a serial mental conditions, and the photography is needed because the other therapy, blah, 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 with the words doesn't work. They need to process the files. They need to see their body. They need to work on themselves. And actually what happens usually, okay, because the body is a very complicated structure, right? And it's not only consist with your flesh, you know, your blood and something, but there is an emotional body, right? There is a spiritual body. Our body combined from, you know, how to say, from many layers. That is our body, right? So emotional health or spiritual thing, everything impacts. I believe in this, okay? Just because I have a medical background and I know that there are so many cases which were unresolved, okay, because medicine was powerless, okay. They performed the same operation in the same condition for the different person, and person dies for unknown reasons, okay. Or, you know, there are complications and so on and so on. There are so many things. I came from the medical profession and I know many things about the body, okay, and I know how much the energy, which we create energy every day, okay. We create energy every day with our body, right? We produce our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts. With that, of course, comes a lot of hormones, okay. If you're stressing out, if you're scared, you will produce adrenaline, right? If you feel anxiety, right? So that what exactly was in that shoot. I was on adrenaline punch or something, okay? Because this guy, you know, with his paranoia and with everything, you know, hold me to that, you know, and pin me to with this to it just was absorbed to my core. Okay, and I feel other people and I feel their suffering. That's why I make this video, that there is a way out for them. Okay, and you don't need how to say a photographer. There, you can't find many photographers who understand this thing. Okay, but you can try with yourself. If you do not like your body and you want to improve the way you look, you don't need any diets. Okay, at the start. You don't need any of that. Okay, start photographing yourself, looking at the image and trying to find that moment. Okay, when it did happen, it's not gonna happen straight away. Okay, but when you do that research about yourself, which is a visual, right? And when you are recording yourself, when I start making videos, right? The first thing, I hated how I look. Okay, when I was making live videos, I hated how I look, and that is it's a very big percentage why people not do any videos, because they experience that they hate uh, the way they look. And then next thing what was is I hated the way I sound. Okay, I just couldn't hear my with my ears the voice the way I speak. Okay, it was like a pain, it was like a knife stabbing in my. I was just thinking, oh my gosh. But I made a lot of videos and it disappeared. Okay, I am absolutely fine the way I look. I don't care. Of course, I care to brush my hair and put a, you know, a dress and maybe some accessory and so on, so that you would enjoy, right? But I don't really care that much. I'm not obsessed. Did you see me with perfect makeup or perfect something? No, because life is not perfect. Life is beautiful. And it's already perfect unless you look for some imperfections constantly. And what you see is imperfection. What you see is something wrong. Okay? When you see a person and you see constantly something wrong, then you look at yourself. Okay, the first thing what you do is you look at yourself. Is only thing what you see is negative. Okay, so that's kind of the situations that I have when the people arriving to the studio and they start talking about themselves badly. There are times when I said, just stop doing that. I said, don't speak in my studio to yourself this way. I said, this is disrespectful. okay, towards you, towards me. I know you don't like certain things, and I know that we can look at this, we can hide this. Of course, there are people, for example, especially with the ladies, okay, there are certain obesity types, right? When we put on weight, where we put? We put straight away on the tummy. Someone puts on their hips, okay? Someone puts somewhere else, doesn't matter, right? But you can indicate that, yes, I, how to say, I have a tummy and so on. You can use a corset and a photo shoot. It will cover your imperfections and you will be absolutely fine. That's how you would accept this. But if you're not going to use the corset and you will sit down and your tummy will, how to say, will come up like that and we will take a picture, of course you would not be happy, right? Because what we are shooting is your imperfection in your face, okay? And very often people do not understand that, do not want to cover it up, and later it bothers them. Okay, because usually when I see this type of, or a shape of the woman, I suggest something what would break the shape, or something what would cover, or maybe I will use a certain lighting just to light up to the boobs so that we are working on this, okay? But when you accept yourself in the image, you will boost your metabolism. I can tell you the energy, the hormones, everything will go in the tact with you. Okay? Seriously, people who look good, they how to say, one thing, or they torture themselves. Okay? And this is very sad when people live on the diets all the time. Okay? And do not allow themselves, to have proper life. Okay, like, how to say, I don't know, it's just, it's just sad, right? I think that people should eat everything, but their acceptance and their body image should be on point, that they know that everything what they eat is healthy and useful for their body, and everything will be digested nicely, and it will be, how to say, something will be taken, something will leave their body, right? When we concentrate on a certain problem and then start eating, I don't know, apples, bananas, or whatever, carrots constantly, right? Your body can produce fat from your carrots. Okay, your body is so clever that if it decides to store that fat, whatever you eat, even low calorie, it will do that to you. Okay, the body plays a very how to say, funny jokes with us, and you can lose weight just by accepting, feeling good, and understanding what's happening in your body, what you need, what you like, how you are. So I recommend to practice self-love. Okay, self-love. And when you come for a photo shoot, the first thing what you think is not what you hated all the time about yourself, not what you don't like, not what you how to say, don't want to shoot or whatever. Try, right? Concentrate on the positive. No, seriously, I know that there are women who don't like at least one thing about themselves, right? I always was very good opinion about men, because men usually are quiet about this, okay? And they accept everything how they are, okay? But this video is about the guy who actually how to say, who actually stayed in my studio and showed the full range of mental condition that he has. And I am really sorry that people experience this. I don't know where it comes from, how it become broken in their head, and how they cannot see the information which is obvious and which is there. And it happens to us many times, it happened to me when I look at something and I don't see. Okay, and that's exactly what it is about them and with their bodies. Okay, when they hate themselves, no matter how beautiful you make the picture, they will still hate themselves. Okay, so for these people, okay, visual therapy is the fastest way. Okay, you would think that maybe you would talk to someone and someone convince you otherwise. They convince you for a moment. Okay, they convince you for that moment, but as soon as you leave the cabinet, okay, leave the room, and you will experience yourself, and the life again. Okay, it will vanish, it will disappear. So you need to do the work. Okay, you need to do the whole job if you want to solve that situation, broken negative body image, and help yourself. I know people go straight away to diets. They what they do, first of all, okay, I want to fix something about myself. Let's just punish myself now. I'm not gonna allow myself this. I'm not gonna allow this. This restrict. Let's just how to say, do all these negative things to yourself and then expect that your body will reward you later. Okay, and so maybe in a physical level you will see the change, but I can tell you there is another layer of your emotional body which is directly impacted, and it will get revenge on you. Oh, as soon as you will break, you know, it will get revenge. So that's where the mental conditions are coming from. Okay, from this torture of yourself and from this self hate and self, I don't know even how to say, you see, people care about themselves. They do, okay? And they care how they feel, okay? And when you are in this situation, it's very hard to actually remember when it started or how it started or how it came on you, and what's happening and so on. It's really hard, but the only thing that can process and fix is your brain. So you need to give as more material, as more food to your brain and show it so that it will process that pain point, that inflammation, what you have, right? Not real, but I am just saying, right? On emotional level, I could say this is an inflammation or infection, which needs to be treated, cured, removed, terminated, whatever, right? So if you have this with your body image, like I said, for me, really helped to record myself, even I hated it, okay, to force myself to do so. And I overcome this. I didn't do anything. I didn't go to any therapy, okay. I am not freaking out when I'm making a video. I don't have, how to say, any negative emotions. I don't feel anything bad about myself. I am just here sharing the information, right? But to be able to do that, I had to overcome all these mental conditions which I had. Okay, I had. Look at your childhood. Okay, look at your childhood, right? So we have a lot of hidden things in our head, okay, and they come out in certain situations, in certain triggers, in certain actions, atmosphere, something somewhere, this and this, and it can trigger you, right? Your emotional body, of course, the way you feel, the way you act, right? And when you are happy with yourself, usually I have an amazing shoot. Okay. When people are content, when people came here to create art, okay, when people know that they are not perfect, that people know that they're aging, that people appreciate everything what's happening and love their life, we are having a very nice successful shoot, and I am able to shine. Okay, I am able to create even more artistic stuff. Okay, even more artistic stuff. And I want to finish with the last point. Okay, during that consultation with this client, with this young man, okay, he told me and a thing that, I want to make a photo shoot, right? I want to make great pictures. I need just few, but I'm gonna delete them. Okay, he's gonna delete them. And I said to him, do you think that I will make you the greatest artwork when you now told me that you're gonna throw it in the trash and delete it? Do you think that my body, I can order myself, okay, and say, yes, Julia, be on point and push yourself and create him a best artwork. But when you're saying to me that you are going to delete it, okay, and I'm an artistic creative person, I'm very sensitive as well, okay, I will never make you the best pictures because you're gonna trash them. It's just logical. And I told him this straight away. I want to be honest with you. If you're telling me that you're going to delete those pictures, said I'm not going to be 100% there. What's the point? For me, What is the point for me? Okay, there is no there is no point. So seriously, you can't, you need to be honest and tell the truth. That's the first thing, about how to say, about mental health. You need to tell the truth to yourself, okay, and you need to be honest with other people, right? And he was just confused after this. I says, what do you mean? I said, I will make you a great studio quality, okay, but I'm not gonna create my art. I'm not gonna here, push myself and put myself into the sky and do something, that I've never done to anyone else. you know I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. If I know that these images, will be trashed later, I can't put that effort and energy there. And I was just being honest straight away. Okay, and he still came. And he still came, and I hope that this will help him. I know that this will help him if he would look at these images. And I know that these files which I create are very special. Okay, not like other studios, because photographers usually do not have, doctor's background consultation. They do it in a different way. Okay, and you see, I'm receiving different kind of cases who are suffering in one way or the other. Okay, like I say, are they suffering in the relationship? Are they suffering with the connection with themselves? Are they suffering with other things? But I constantly come across this suffering, and probably other photographers would not care, and would not, how to say, would not discuss this, would not go deeper, and because they can't help. What's the point? They don't understand any of that, and they can't help. But I can, and I know that this really helps. Okay, this really helps to fix your body image and to help you to look great. Okay, because if you can easily translate this like that, record yourself, tell something what you like without any notes, right? Just freestyle. Okay, just tell the situation, what you experience. Okay, and I feel that everyone has, in the certain point, similar feelings about disliking themselves, because this is the wrong angle someone took of you, right? From where the word I am not photogenic came from. Okay, from that situation, when you're making your pictures, or someone is making your pictures and they are great, because they're making it, the way you see it, and then someone else take a picture probably from the different angle and from the perspective, and you hate yourself. Okay, because on that picture you're not posing. Okay, you're not doing what you like, you're not standing the way you like, you're not slimmer, you're not younger, just three factors what people want from the photographer: to look sexy, okay, to look younger, okay, and to look slimmer. Okay, and to look sexy is my priority. Okay, because it doesn't matter what shape you are in and what size you are in. If you are sexy, okay, you're winning straight away. Okay, but some associate other illusions. Okay, like, oh, if I look slim, then I am sexy. No, that's no, you just slim. Okay, or if you know how to say, if I look younger, I am sexy. No, you're not. Okay, you just how to say, have this diffuse light, or how to say, like right now. Yes, no, maybe you can see. uh, okay, with this camera you can see perfect, because the light is going from here. If the light will be coming from back, it will be less visible. You would not see the skin texture clearly. It will be blurred. And that's how photographers manipulate. Okay, when they're making younger pictures, they manipulate with the lighting, right? But just a second, live video ended. Okay, so I need to end this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope I've just sent a great message for you. Okay, so I've started my lives, and I hope I see you later, alligator. Thank you. Bye.